Big comic week this week. Will they make good movies and television shows out of these? Find out right now. All right, so we're back with another episode. I believe this is episode 10 of Will These Comics Make Good Film and Television Shows? So I'm actually only through half of my books to read over this week. So I'll probably be doing a second episode towards the, I don't know, a few days, I guess. So yeah, so let's start with, I actually have more DC than Marvel this week. So that's unusual. Usually it's the other way around. And I have a couple of independents as well and a couple of Kickstarters. All right, so let's get right into it. But before we do, remember to like and subscribe. I am trying to build the channel out, so help me out here and like and subscribe. All right. All right, so I do a lot of things on comics and as well as movies, and I haven't delved back into my board games, but I would like to do that shortly. I just moved to Atlanta from Los Angeles. I am a working line producer and award-winning writer myself. I'll get into some of my own projects here in a second. But let's jump right into these comic reviews, and will they make good movies and television shows? So let's start out with Birds of Prey. Number 1, they brought this back with Kelly Thompson, who was previously on Captain Marvel. She kind of shit the bed towards the end of that, and they canceled it at number 50. They canceled Birds of Prey years ago, probably due to the movie doing so poorly and completely getting off the rails. So now they brought it back, and my review on this is okay. It's very meh. I was looking for something more. This is basically co-aligns with what Marvel did with the Avengers #1 with Captain Marvel, compiling her whole team. It's almost exactly the same, almost beat for beat. So in here we start out with Black Canary, who is the one doing the recruiting here, and she's having a conversation with Ollie, who I believe is her husband at this point. And I'm like, why can't Ollie be on the team? I don't understand, because, I know Kelly Thompson does not like men. She just stays away from men as much as possible, which is why I think she was a good pick for Birds of Prey. But there have been other male members of the Birds of Prey in the past. There was a Talon at one time and stuff like that. So I can't understand why we can't have one male character. They do tell us later on why it has to be all women. So I buy that. But for the future, after this thing is over, there's no reason for Ollie. Ollie would add a very, I think, a good portion of the team. Plus, you'd have a husband and wife team that might bicker. I think that would add a very good element to this team. But anyway, so it's very predictable. You see the people on the cover. She's going to recruit them. And they even have Zealot on there from Wildcats or whatever. And then at the end, they're like, we need one more. We need a wild card. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, we're just so contrived about them trying to go get Harley Quinn. So incredibly contrived. But anyway, that's all this book was a recruitment thing. And then they say they got to go save Sin, which is Black Canary's sister, I guess, from back when, when Simone was, I don't know who was writing it at that time. But yeah, that's an old storyline with her sister. And it was a decent storyline too, but it's a long time ago. So now they say, well, where do we have to go? And they reveal that it's Themyscira. So that's the thing, that's why they need all women, is because they have to go to Themyscira. Then again, they're breaking into Themyscira. I guess they didn't want to break the cardinals in. If they get caught, at least they're not bringing a man. Okay, I get it. But anyway, this was very meh. Very meh. Will it make a good movie or television show? Not yet. I don't know where she's going with it. But this, so far, it's whatever. I wasn't very impressed with it. Okay, Fire and Ice. This is also #1, so we're doing a whole bunch of #1s here. So Fire and Ice, I liked Fire and Ice when, I don't know if Ice was part of Checkmate, but I think it was just Fire. But I really liked Checkmate back in the day. But this ain't it. So this is, I think somebody else wanted me to read the beginning of this. So here's everything you need to know about these characters. You haven't heard, this is Fire talking. Okay, so they have like little word balloons, just telling you who they are. And this is by Joanne Starrer, and she's not a good writer. I'll tell you right off the bat, she's not a good writer. They hired her for pretty much one reason, and I think that was for a female slice of life. But anyway, so you haven't heard of me. This is Fire talking. You haven't heard of me? Well, that's embarrassing for you. I used to be a model. Obviously, but when I gained superpowers, I found my true calling, international fame. Oh, and that ability to help people as well. The Justice League didn't always see my full potential. But Ice has been by my side through everything. It's time for the world to see what we're truly capable of. I'm done being underestimated. Woo! Girl power, baby. That's right. Because I'm the baddest, I'm the hottest, I don't know what you are, but it's embarrassing for you. And that's where we're going into this story. That's the first lines of this comic. And we're supposed to like this person, or we're supposed to hate this person? Because I hate this person. This is not the person from Checkmate. So this is her creating a character that's completely unlikable. So Superman's nice enough to say, well, why don't you just hang out with my mom? They bought a salon just to hang out in, I guess. That's a lot of money just to hang out. Supposedly there's 6 bedrooms on the upper floor. That's huge. And, yeah. And I think that Ice was dating Guy Gardner at one time. And then this other woman comes in that used to work, the artwork is very cartoony. They used to work at the salon, and she basically bullies herself into a position. Then she sings a song to herself. Then they have a robot that's a very simpy robot, and they're dancing and inviting people to Smallville to fight. So she's placing an entire community in danger, including Superman's mom, because she's inviting people to come fight. And not only people, super villains. So King Shark comes in, and Superman shows up, because of course he does, because he's like, I got to protect these people in case something goes wrong. And of course she gets really nasty about it. I'm not sure about what the line is. He disrespected me, and Superman says, I didn't mean any disrespect. And again, we did not ask for it. Respectfully, you needed it. That's what Superman says. And then she goes back and says, did we? Or are all of you big, strong men just desperate to jump in and save us before we have a chance to save ourselves? Okay. So, this is an extremely, extremely high-nosed book. This is somebody writing this going, yeah, I'm better than all of you, and I want to make sure that and men know it. Even though men are really what's going to read this, I want to tell you all that I'm better than you. So, Fire and Ice, trash. Joanne Starrer, you're trash. So I hope you have a whole bunch of feminists reading this book, because 99.99% of comic book readers are not feminists. Even the females that read comics are not feminists. Not to this degree. I got to say that. So it's a third wing feminism. Because all women are basically feminists. And men want that too. Men want everything to be equal, but this is not equal. This is, we're better than you, stay away from us because toxic masculinity. That's what this is. And this is just a slice of life book. It's not even a superhero book at all. And I've heard a lot of reviews on this book, and none of them are positive. None. So I even if they had some #1 sell, the second issue, the sales are going to go in the gutter. And she's probably never going to get another gig. Well, she might. She might get another gig again, but it won't be because of sales. Will it make a good film or television show? No. She-Hulk was bad enough. we don't need a second She-Hulk and green. So all right, so let me go into Batman. This is the Batman Catwoman Gotham War. This is the follow-up, but in Batman instead of it being in its own thing. So we have a very she's training cat burglars now, and we have a very fat cat burglar there on the bottom, if you want to see. So yeah, I don't know how you're training fat cat burglars if you're trying to go through all the vents and things to that effect. The artwork in here is pretty good, I gotta say. That Batman thing is pretty cool. So the storyline is that Catwoman has now busted out of prison, got a whole bunch of other people with her to leave prison. So they're all escaped convicts, but nobody's picking them up. Nobody's picking them up to take them back. We just don't feel like it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So anyway, she decides, while Batman's in a coma during night terrors, to recruit all of the baddies, and I mean like Mr. Freeze and Tetch and Two-Face, all the baddies, take all of their henchmen, and since they're being abused, and teach them how to be cat burglars. So they're not killers anymore, they're cat burglars, because she thinks she's doing a good thing by doing that. So there's the violent crime in Gotham has dropped to zero, because of course the big baddies can't find anyone else to work for them. Nope. Catwoman took them all as 100%. 100%. Nobody stayed behind to work for any of these guys at all. And the big baddies like Two-Face and Joker and all, they don't really care. They're like, they're not even putting up a fight at all. Nope, they're not going to kill any of those guys and say, hey, if you don't stay, I'm going to kill all of you. Nope, they don't say that. Nope, they're just like, okay, Catwoman, you do what you do. You do you. I'm just not even going to do any crime at all anymore. Come on, man, that's stupid. This whole idea is stupid. So then Batman says, yeah, that's still crime. If you're teaching people how to steal stuff, and you're stealing stuff from rich people, I don't care where you're stealing them from, it's still a crime. So you haven't dropped crime down to zero. You tried violent crime, but crime in general is probably on the rise, because instead of having one murder or whatever, or one bank robbery, now you have literally hundreds of houses being broken into. That's still crime, man. And to my shock, a lot of when they had this discussion, a lot of the Bat family said, yeah, that's a good idea. You did it, Catwoman. You're amazing. No. The Bat family would never say that. Tim and Barbara and Dick, there's no way. So, Barbara and Dick are having a conversation here about, like, he's out of control, man. We just need to get him back in line. Meanwhile, Jason has already agreed to work with Catwoman. So here's all the baddies kind of getting together going, no, what should we do now? Come on. It's stupid. So Batman then fights Jason. And then, this is the shocking part. So then Tim tackles him from behind. What? No way. No way. And then all the other Bat family go to stand against him. No way. I call bullshit. Anybody who's been reading this book, there's Dick just smacking him in the head. I call bullshit, man. There's no way that the Bat family would turn on him that quickly to go work with Catwoman. No way. If Batman had become evil, yes, I totally agree with that. But in this case, he's right and they're wrong. And then the only guy who stands up for him, I got a lot of respect now, is Damian. Damian's the only one that says, yeah, Dad, I'm on your side. These people are all crazy. So you've taken literally a dozen years of characterization, if not 20 years of characterization, and destroyed it. For what? This stupid idea? And plus, Batman has a metal hand. We're not even going to go into that. But then he loses Wayne Manor as well. So somebody else buys Wayne Manor from under him, and I'm not even seeing the twist in here. It's Vandal Savage. So Vandal Savage is immortal. I mean, I was expecting Ra's al Ghul maybe. That would have been cool. But Vandal Savage, that's left field, man. Left field. Would it make a good television show? No. I like the idea of Batman going against Catwoman because, you know, she has certain things that she's doing with her community that may be wrong because she is a criminal. She's a villain no matter what. She just kind of skirts that line every once in a while. But that idea is okay, but this is garbage. Garbage. Teenie Howard and Chip Zdarsky, get off your soapbox, man, because this is crap. And I'm going to continue. If I wasn't reviewing them, I would probably quit. As soon as the war is over, I'm quitting both of them. There's no way I'm reading any more Chip Zdarsky and Teenie Howard because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Not with Batman. So anyway, let's go into my only Marvel, which is MoonKnight. I really like this Hunter Moon character. It's not Zeb Wells. Jed McKay. Jed McKay. I always mix up their names. So this has been pretty decent. They're trying to find out what's going on with Black Spectre. Black Spectre is like an old villain of his, and he's bringing back other old villains to fight Moon Knight. So Moon Knight has now teamed up with Hunter's Moon, who is also a hand of Khonshu. So, and of course, he has the multiple personalities, and all of the old or other Moon Knights throughout the decades are all inside the Hunter's Moon guy. So they go into the mind of Vibro, who is a villain, to find out who and what Black Spectre is planning. And they find his original personality from before he turned into a supervillain, which was kind of interesting. But it's kind of weird. This feels more like a Doctor Strange book than it does a Moon Knight book. And, I mean, it was kind of cool, but it just felt out of place. So I'm waiting to see what the Black... I like them bringing back... It was almost like Bane, where he was making him fight all his old guys for Batman. But yeah, so... I don't know. This did not fit for me. I thought it was interesting, but it didn't fit into the Moon Knight world at all. I liked the idea of Black Spectre, but that would probably make a good series, especially with Hunter Moon, them teaming up. But overall, not this particular issue. No. All right, going to my last couple here. So Purr Evil, not Pure, Purr. So this is issue 2. This is we get a little bit more into what happens. So you see all the cats in the back here. So this girl has powers that she doesn't realize she has, and she has like a mind control power that she gets from a demon before she was born, like in the womb. And they had like some kind of book or something like that, and that the parents opened up. And it gets kind of creepy because she mind controls these people without realizing that they want to do everything they can for her. So they become like disciples, but then they get really violent very quickly. And, all hell breaks loose, and the mom comes in with a gun and starts killing people that are going crazy. And then at the end, so the father of the boy ends up trying to kill his father here at the bottom panel. And so at the end, she's hiding because she doesn't really know what's going on. And then I guess her father has some kind of powers and shows up at the end. So this is kind of interesting. Would it make a good... I at least see how it ends. But yeah, I think like a good little mini-series. That's really what this is a mini-series based on these people. and having all the cats and everything else come all over the place, the purple cats that are all kind of lucid dreams kind of thing. Yeah, so I think it would be weird, but it'd be kind of cool. All right, then we have Faelyn Wood. I just got this in from Kickstarter, and he sent it destroyed. Instead of sending it with in a Gemini box like everybody else does, like I do, he literally sent it in a bag and a board, and that's it. So it came in totally destroyed. So yeah, you guys got to fix that, man. You can't. And I think this is like a $20 book, and you can't just send it like that. Odyssey Comics. So be careful with these guys. So this is about. It's more like a D&D type of thing. So he gets a vision from his dad, who's now a ghost, who says to save him. The artwork's decent. It's not great, but it's not bad. And so he realizes that his father is stuck in the Faelyn Woods as a ghost and was going to save him. And he has this conversation with the girl who is more of a fighter, a warrior, and he's a thief. So that's why I say it's more like D&D, because we have roles. Then they have this very odd. They want to ask the permission of their boss to leave, the head of the army or whatever. And we have, instead of just saying, yeah, he gave us permission, we have this weird dialogue going on in the bottom. It's really out of place. So the little castle and stuff like that, it's all cool. So they go see this woman, and she says, yeah, you have to give me a whole lot of ingredients to do this spell. So it's very quest-oriented, very quest-oriented. And then, this shows you a green rider. So this is all leading up. It's pretty cool, right? It's okay. It's got momentum. So then we decide to go into a flashback for 6 pages. We leave the story for 6 pages. And they're slaves, him and his dad. He escapes. He jumps off just jump in the water, man. Just jump into shark-infested waters. And then swim to where you have no idea where there's any land, because they're not saying there's land anywhere near them. So he ends up, they end up getting on a boat, which is stupid, to try to find him instead of just letting them die. And especially when they're killing them anyway. What does it matter? And then he kills the shark, and he rides the shark back to land or whatever. Stupid. And so then they need to get the eggs of a harpy. So they fight this harpy to get the eggs. And I wish there was more to the quest than this, but there isn't. It's just literally like 3 pages and they have it. And then they have to get soil from a newborn child's grave, which is kind of eerie. But we have kind of cool, like, undead stuff going on. And then a girl comes in and saves them because they're getting surrounded by skeleton zombies and stuff like that. And that's about the extent of that. So I like this, but it's not written very well. So I think there should be more to this than what it is. If you're going to do a quest book, you just have to be a little bit more creative with it than doing, hey, I'm going to go and fight a harpy for a page, and then I'm going to go into this soil thing and, into this graveyard and fight this thing, that kind of thing. Anyway, that's it for me. That's what I've gotten so far. I still have half my books left to read, but that was half of them. I know I got a little bit in depth too much. So anyway, let's plug my own stuff, and you can test out my writing, since I complain about other people's. So this is my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch, which is available on Amazon at this point, not on my own website, which I'm going to put the name down the bottom, and there will be a link in the description. It is a full novel. It is a fantasy, so it's a little bit. It's not really D&D-ish because there's no like thief group. There's no like group going on a quest kind of thing. It's more about the infiltration of the Iron Witch to this. I should probably just do a little review of it, not a review, but a little plot line in a video one day. But anyway, the reviews have been generally good, and I really have to work on the sequel. But I just moved, and I've been trying to find a job and stuff like that. And now with the strikes going on, there's no jobs to have here. That's part of the problem. And this is my graphic novel based on the first novel of the Destiny Aurora novel series. So this is a complete 150-page graphic novel that has a whole bunch of, there's a big twist in it, but there's plenty of aliens and space battle and sword fights and stuff like that. We have a very eclectic crew. This was also made into a board game and an RPG. And then Lords of Ballet, my vampire mob in the 50s that I'm currently working on launching the Kickstarter for the second issue. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll put some other videos here for you guys to check out. And remember to like and subscribe if you can. Thank you so much for watching. All right.